welcome back to W12 Universe. I'm your host Jitch and you are watching ECW. I'm just quickly making sure that the volume I have for my voice is okay. Because I'm trying some new sound settings to try and make the videos sound a little bit better. The TV is so loud. So very loud. I mean, to be fair, that part it always is. The ECW intro is a very loud part of the show. Just trying to work out how to get rid of this buzzing I keep hearing. It's a little better. So Goldust coming on out here tonight for a very unique matchup. Something I've definitely never really heard much of before. Goldust has taken exceptional notice to the fact that Kane is a shell of who he used to be. Goldust says that he is sad at the sight of Kane, that it makes him want to fix Kane. Of course, I think what he's referring to is the fact that Goldust lost his mask a while back, as you may recall. Sorry about the sounds, I'm just putting the headphones back. Kane lost his mask a while back, and Goldust noticed how quickly Kane was able to tap out last week on ECW, and he is unimpressed. But rather than trying to just blame Kane and take out his frustrations on Kane, Goldust wants to get Kane back because he says, from one freak to another, he hopes Kane can recover.
And his opponent, weighing 323 pounds, Kane!
Naturally, Kane did not take too kindly to Goldust's words of encouragement, if you could call them that. And Kane has accepted this match, but says that he plans on destroying Goldust in this match for calling him a freak. I think Goldust might be onto something, you know. I think this might be exactly what Kane needs. Someone to help him get himself back on track, because I gotta admit, seeing Kane tap out so fast last week, it was kind of eye-opening. We saw that the Kane we've all come to know over such a long period of time is still in there, because that version of him reared its head in the Royal Rumble when this man eliminated, I believe, 5 people. But unfortunately, we haven't really seen enough of that version of Kane to know that it is still alive. And I think it's really nice of Goldust to want to try and fix Kane up. Well, I wish him the best of luck in this matchup. Goldust thinks he's got what it takes to open Kane's eyes, and he says he's going to do that by beating him here tonight. It would definitely be a unique outcome in a matchup between Goldust and Kane. No offense intended to Goldust, but you certainly wouldn't expect him to be able to beat Kane. If he was to beat him tonight, I think it would definitely shock me at least a little bit. Now that sounds really quiet. So strange. I think it's just that I forgot how loud the ECW intro is, to be fair. Yeah, I do still have the microphone set so that it doesn't pick things up from behind it. I have no idea. It doesn't seem like it's recording at a very good quality lately. I mean, no one's been complaining, it's just as I've been editing the videos, I've been like, why does our microphone sound like something from the early 2010s? Why does it sound so low quality? I just feel like it could need work, personally, as I went to say there. Updates and blogs. Well, as I say, this is a very interesting grounds for a match. You wouldn't normally see Goldust and Kane facing off under such strange circumstances, but Kane's trying to prove that he still is the monster he claims to be, and Goldust wants to get him back to being the monster he claims to still be. It sounds really strange when you word it like that, but hey, it is what it is.
He hits a sweet combination. Kane. I think Kane just looked this way. Don't make eye contact, Cole. That's a good example of what Kane's all about. Kane.
Kane.
Kane is a cruel man. He is a black heart.
Kane.
Whatever he can to hurt you before he puts you away.
Coming up in tonight's main event, Jack Swagger teams up with Brodus Clay to face off against Big Show and Mick Foley in a tag team matchup featuring 4 of the 5 participants in the Championship Scramble. Husky Harris given the night off here tonight before he returns to action next week. But interestingly enough, you'll want to tune into Monday's Raw as we've got a very unique cross-brand match coming your way this coming Monday. Jack Swagger went into a press conference earlier today, and when he was questioned as to why, if he felt the ECW as a brand was disrespected for Batista not choosing to face him at WrestleMania, Jack Swagger said, simply put, that Batista is afraid of Jack Swagger, that Batista knows he couldn't beat Swagger and win the ECW Championship, and so he's proud of Batista for being able to come forward and go for some other choice. He says it was smarter on his part. Well, Batista has of course retaliated to this dismissal and has in fact challenged Jack Swagger to come to Raw next week and face Batista non-title, just to prove that Batista can in fact beat the ECW champion. So that will be a cross-promotional matchup next week on Raw, assuming Jack Swagger accepts the challenge laid down by Batista.
These superstars looking for a victory,
Looking to build momentum. Well, Kane has lasted longer in this match than he did in last week's, but I guess just because Goldust hasn't locked in a submission hold. Excuse me. Sorry, I felt how gross that was. Leg sweep takes down Kane, and Goldust in control. Former hardcore champion. He's definitely been a great here on ECW. I don't really know which one of these two I favor. I want to say Kane, but Goldust has been very impressive lately. Any other day of the week I'd normally go for Kane, but unfortunately I just don't think that I think Goldust is onto something. I think Kane has lost a little bit of what makes Kane Kane. Goldust is insistent. I'm gonna help you, buddy. I'm gonna bring you back. I don't really know how he plans on doing that, especially by wrestling him, but he says he's gonna do it. I mean, Kane is one of the first ever United States champions. Laid waste to Evan Bourne to win that championship a year or so ago. Cover from Kane. Goldust able to kick out.
These competitors trying to keep their wits about them.
Of course, I feel like in a lot of people's eyes, when we saw that 4-way matchup last week on ECW, a lot of people were expecting Kane to come out on top. Not Goldust, not Cody Rhodes, not Husky Harris, especially not Husky Harris, who was absolutely the underdog in that matchup. But it was Husky Harris who got the victory by tapping Kane out. I mean, maybe the reality of it all is that Husky Harris is just one tough guy. Kane, big choke slam, lays out Goldust. Has Kane gotten a big victory here tonight? He sure has. Kane with a victory over Goldust, and I guess he got to prove his point that he still feels, at least, that he is the monster he's always been. I can't wait to see what wonderful face we freeze on this time. Goldust laid out. Kane standing tall with a victory and does his little happy stamps. Such a happy fellow. I wonder if Goldust really is onto something now. If there really is a side of Kane that is missing. I know that he doesn't have his mask. I know that at one point he felt he relied on it. But perhaps he was wrong to think so. Maybe Goldust proved tonight that Kane is still a monster even without it. Maybe that was the plan. I don't know. Either way, Kane victorious as we move on. Up next, believe it or not, Randy Orton, an ECW competitor for the entirety of his Hardcore Championship reign. That is the rules. If you win the Hardcore Championship, you are tied to ECW until you lose the Hardcore Championship. And he's got to defend that championship against Cara next.
for the Hardcore Championship. And introducing the challenger from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing 196 pounds.
Sin Cara has actually been advised by authorities of ECW not to accept this match tonight, that Randy Orton is a very dangerous individual, an experienced former two-time World Heavyweight Champion. For the security of one of their few stars, ECW management didn't want him to accept this match. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they've gotten their way, as Sin Cara is just not going to pass up an opportunity to compete on ECW, let alone to compete for a championship. The guy has one of the worst win-loss records I've ever seen, but the championship is all about opportunity. Unfortunately, for as long as it's over the shoulder of Randy Orton, I just don't know who's going to beat him. At WrestleMania, the championship will be on the line in a 4-way match up. Wait, is that right? No, I think I was going to go for a triple threat. No, I guess a 4-way would make more sense. A 4-way matchup. The rules of this matchup are simple. One superstar from Raw, one superstar from ECW, one superstar from SmackDown. Your choice, who you want to see compete from each brand for the Hardcore Championship, plus the champion himself, of course. You get one star from each brand. One of them will be challenging for that championship raised by Randy Orton if he makes it to WrestleMania with the title. Of course, you can't vote for those that are already booked on the show, and I don't know how you're going to vote for it, because the show is probably going to be recorded before you ever see this episode. I'll probably put a thing on the community tab on YouTube being like, name anyone from Raw, ECW, or SmackDown. No, Raw, ECW, and SmackDown that you'd like to see compete for the Hardcore Championship at WrestleMania. And just hope that, like, 1 or 2 votes of people I can throw in there, and I'll just... whatever works, I'll take. So it'll be a mishmash of votes that people have made. Trying something new today. I've got the TV set to gaming mode because the delay is like non-existent that way. There's like a very minor bit of latency, and I've been really struggling to play this game the last few days because of it. Like, the delay is just, it bugs me too much. I keep feeling it. It's the same way that I was playing Smash Bros on the Switch on the TV. I could really feel the difference between me playing off the TV and me playing it off of the console itself, like when I'm in handheld mode. And yeah, it was definitely there. So I think it's time for me to bring up the game mode that every TV has built into it to get rid of the delay. And I mean, the picture looks way better. It will look the same for you, because my TV is not a part of what what makes the recordings look the way they do. That is the computer and the capture device. Randy Orton's got the Hardcore Championship in hand. I never really got the story behind why it is that we have this fancy lighting for Sin Cara. We don't do this for anybody else. This is strictly a Sin Cara prop. The 14,000 Peter Griffins in attendance, all each shocked by the actions of the Viper, who is just laying into Sin Cara. Oh my god. I'm assuming from the fact that chair has blood on it that Sin Cara is bleeding under that mask. I don't know how the chair got blood on it, but... holy crap. What? Oh, I think I finally broke 50 items. RKO. Randy... oh. Really not make this false count anywhere. Randy Orton with a devastating RKO on Sin Cara. And that's it. That wasn't even a match. That just straight up wasn't even a match. That was Sin Cara getting battered and beaten and then pinned. I like the way the Hardcore title looks under these lights, I'm not gonna lie. Really brings out the shine bits on it. Well, Randy Orton is still the hardcore champion walking out of this one, and I do honestly wonder who is going to take that championship off of him. I think he's pretty much just secured his spot at WrestleMania. There's no room for you guys to vote more. So Randy Orton, I think, headed to WrestleMania with the hardcore championship for sure. As we move towards our main event here tonight, Brodus Clay and Jack Swagger, an experienced team, facing off against an inexperienced, but I think a pretty compatible team of Big Show and Mick Foley in our main event.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Long Island, New York, weighing 287 pounds, Mick Foley.
Mick, the big chick flick Foley coming on down to the ring here tonight for this tag team matchup. The man believed he would become ECW champion at WrestleMania, and he has got just 3 weeks to prove that that might just be true. Championship Scramble, 20-minute match. Last man with the victory in that matchup, the ECW champion, Mick Foley, has got the opportunity to bring that dream to become a reality. He's got to outlast this man and 3 others. Well, formerly the hardcore champion, ended in a very impressive reign from the Goldust. You notice Big Show not all smiles like he normally is here tonight. The Big Show in a pretty sour mood right now after what happened to him 2 weeks ago on ECW. 2 weeks ago? No, it was last week, I believe. Yeah, last week on ECW, when he was brutally attacked by Randy Orton backstage, thrown through a glass window. Most people would need some time off, they would need some time to recover, but clearly the Big Show is showing just how freakishly strong this guy is. He is still here in action tonight, willing to team up with Mick Foley to face off against Swagger and Brodus Clay. It's a very interesting situation for sure. I wonder what condition Big Show's in.
And their opponent, representing the powerhouse, from Pasadena, California, weighing 367 pounds,
Brodus Clay has got a big opportunity to prove himself here tonight. Whether it comes at the expense of Jack Swagger or not, this man has got to have in the back of his head that if he can just win the championship scramble, this man will be a recognized world champion. Brodus Clay needs that. He wants it so bad. Whether he'll admit it or not, it's gonna be in the back of his head. He can win the ECW title from Swagger at WrestleMania. I think this bond's going to be broken in that championship scramble match.
Oklahoma, weighing 263 pounds, is the ECW champion, the All-American Jack Swagger.
While Jack Swagger wears the ECW championship with pride, he has been the longest reigning, most successful defending ECW world champion since that championship was promoted to a world championship of this brand. Since this place was made a brand, as a matter of fact. Jack Swagger very quickly won the ECW Championship, and he has been holding that title for an incredibly long time. The Championship Scramble match at WrestleMania is probably the most in jeopardy that title will have been since he won it. As, how do you really predict and overcome 4 other opponents when you don't even know what point in the match you're going to be coming in? Swagger might have to just sit in the back and watch as 4 people slug it out for his championship, and then he comes out in the last 5 minutes of the match, and he's got 5 minutes to wear down and pin someone to win the ECW championship back. And that to me sounds like that'd be a pretty tough challenge. Big suplex takes down Brodus Clay. Mick Foley starting things off pretty successfully in control. Full Nelson applied on Brodus as he breaks out of it. Powers out. Jack Swagger going to be pulling some serious double duty if he accepts the challenge of Batista. I mean, to be fair, he's got 6 days to recover before Monday Night Raw. Batista has issued the challenge for Swagger to come on over, put his money where his mouth is, and face the 2011 Royal Rumble winner, non-title. Be interesting to see if Swagger accepts and actually does face Batista next week on Raw. I think that would be a big mistake on Swagger's part. He needs as much momentum as he can get heading into the Championship Scramble. But I also think that he is arrogant and proud enough that he'll probably accept. Been told that next week here on ECW, Kane is going to try and overcome his demon. Per the suggestion of Goldust to ECW management, Goldust says Kane's got a lot to prove. He needs to get back on track. He may have beaten me, but it doesn't stop there. I don't know why Goldust has gotten so invested in Kane just lately, but he says that next week Kane needs to be able to beat Husky Harris, the man he tapped out to in 3 minutes. So a one-on-one confrontation, Kane and Husky Harris next week on ECW. Harris's spot in the Championship Scramble is not on the line. This will be a standard matchup. Harris is going to WrestleMania with that shot still, just in case anyone was concerned that it might be taken away from him. And whilst they may be tag team partners tonight, next week Mick Foley does in fact face off against The Big Show in our main event of ECW. Brodus Clay, on the other hand, will be going one-on-one with his own tag team partner. As we've heard before from management, there's no room for official recognized tag teams here on ECW. ECW management has put Brodus Clay up against Ezekiel Jackson. They say that these are two great competitors with a lot of potential, and Brodus needs to prove that he's got what it takes to build momentum on the road to WrestleMania, and he needs to do that by facing his own ally in Ezekiel Jackson. I think what ECW management is trying to do is trying to get into the head of Brodus Clay. Don't you dare waste this WrestleMania opportunity. Be the best competitor you can be. If you beat Jack Swagger and win the ECW Championship, be proud of that. Don't deny yourself that moment just to be in the shadow of a man you don't have to be in the shadow of. Make him face one ally. Let him know that it's do or die. Chop.
An incredible series of moves there. Nobody's budging an inch in this one.
Looking forward to this week's SmackDown as the WrestleMania card, I think, pretty much complete at this point, top to bottom. I mean, we still need to find out who's going to be challenging for the Intercontinental Championship. That should be an interesting one. But as we move towards WrestleMania, we are getting more and more matches confirmed. I think from Raw, we've got every championship on the line already confirmed. Women's Championship submission match, Beth Phoenix defending the championship against Natalya. World Tag Team Championship match, the Road Warriors up against Nash and Vader. European Championship Elimination 4-Way, Sheamus, Barrett, McIntyre, Regal. World Heavyweight Championship main event, Brock Lesnar versus Batista. That's everything. Raw's WrestleMania is completely filled up, covered. Here on ECW, the Hardcore Championship will not be decided until the day of WrestleMania. Randy Orton has no idea who he's going into that match with. But the ECW Championship match is set. Championship Scramble match. 5 men will walk in. Each one 5-minute breaks until the next one comes in. 2 men start, 5-minute break, another man comes in, and by the end of that 20-minute matchup, we've got ourselves an ECW champion determined. Jack Swagger's championship in serious jeopardy in that matchup. He can be pinned, but the thing is, he can get the championship back in the same match if he pins someone else or submits them. Championship Scramble match, of course, featuring all 4 participants in this matchup, plus Husky Harris. And then from SmackDown, we've got currently confirmed the WWE Tag Team Championship on the line, as The Miz and Morrison defend their championship against D-Generation X. And a WWE Championship main event seems to be on the horizon between John Cena and The Undertaker, but we do not actually have confirmation that that match is a thing. All we know is The Undertaker is certainly haunting John Cena enough that I feel it's going to become a reality sooner than later.
Great counter there for Brodus Clay.
And of course, also coming your way from Friday Night SmackDown at WrestleMania, the Intercontinental Championship will be on the line. John Morrison's contender still to be determined in the coming weeks. We've still got 3 more weeks to find that out. But also, coming your way at WrestleMania, the Light Heavyweight Championship ladder match. The reason I did not mention this yet is because it has not been finalized, but the Light Heavyweight Championship will be defended in a 6-man ladder match, taking the place of the Money in the Bank ladder match that we had at WrestleMania last year. 6-man ladder match for the Light Heavyweight Championship. Currently confirmed in that match, the defending champion himself, Evan Bourne, the former champion Kofi Kingston, the champion that came before Kofi Kingston and Justin Gabriel, as well as newcomer Jetstar, and Rey Mysterio, who has never really dabbled in the light heavyweight division, despite being such an iconic cruiserweight competitor. And Jack Swagger, whoa! Did he just do that? Jack Swagger just suplexed his own partner. Not exactly a lot of similarities between Big Show and Brodus to make that mistake. Yeah, WrestleMania is pretty much all said and done. Like, it's all right there, ready to go. It's definitely not the card I initially had planned out, for anyone curious. Do I come forward and tell everyone now what my initial plans were? I mean, I had a plan for every outcome at Elimination Chamber, and they were all quite greatly different. I don't mind sharing it with you all. I don't think that it's spoiling anything. Just trying to quickly think them over, just to make sure I don't accidentally give away like another rivalry, because some of them I've carried over, but I think most of them have already played out anyway. Brodus Clay. So I think pretty much the only things that were ever really interchangeable were... Ah, yeah, there is one I can't say yet. Okay. No, I can't talk about that yet. I thought about it for a moment and realized that there was actually one that I can't talk about at all, and I don't want to try and narrow it down. I want it to just remain a mystery, because I want to play it out. Mick Foley choking out Jack Swagger with that sock. That damn dirty sock. He drags Swagger to the center of the ring. Is this going to be enough to get the job done? Brodus Clay very quickly got in there. This guy really wants to get that victory. I don't know if this is necessarily even for Swagger at this point. I mean, the guy was launched across the ring, belly to belly, release suplex by Jack Swagger to Brodus Clay. That was no accident. Brodus comes on into the ring, and Jack Swagger has decided to sit this one out for a little while. The former Raw general manager now focusing on being a full-time ECW participant. We have watched the sanity kind of dwindle on Mick Foley a little bit since his time in charge of Raw. It's really worn on him. It's good to see him step away from that spotlight. I just don't think that he was handling it too well.
He escapes the hole.
No. Oh, bear hug. Mick Foley is no Kelly Kelly. He ain't tapping out to no bear hugs. Big Show just so happy to see Mick Foley getting some offense in on the big man.
Good reaction from Clay. Hey! And he fights out of it. He breaks the hold.
Brodus launches Foley into the corner.
And there's a tag.
Ropes takes him down. Should have played this match. I feel I get a lot more invested in them when I play them. I just sometimes I don't have a favorite, and I feel like I should probably just randomize it when I don't have a favorite or an outcome that I really want. Because even if I take the quick loss, then I'm still at least playing the match. I just feel like I need to play the match. I feel like this is proving it. Mick Foley running over to the corner of the Big Show, but for some reason, just didn't seem to have it in him to tag out.
Now taking a moment to feel those ribs, and King, it appears that there may be some
Oof.
damage. It looks like it. Those ribs have been targeted so many times over the course of this match. Uh-oh.
Brodus Clay drops him down. Man, he needs a more impactful finisher than that.
Cover here.
Right in front of the Big Show. What were you even thinking? Arrgh! I love the Big Show's noises.
What a counter.
Arrgh! Come on, Foley, get the tag out.
What sheer determination.
I miss hot tags, man. Those are a really big thing at the start of this season, and they just seem to have stopped.
And momentum has changed once again.
Ooh.
And he powers out. Now bringing in his partner.
Swagger and Brodus Clay seem to have been become a team again. They seem to be able to work together. Big Brodus Clay? What a sign. Jack Swagger, I mean, as I say, there is no denying the strength of Jack Swagger. Some of the things this guy does are freakish. I know they shouldn't tickle me as much as they do, but they do, and I'm not sorry. Big Show just has some ridiculous sounds. That really scared the Big Show. He started running towards the ring. They gonna look for a count-out victory, maybe? No. Big Show back in the ring. Can't keep this guy. Can't keep this guy down for long. You can cancel his Netflix show, but you'll never take away his victories. Oh my god. That was crazy. Fans even had to clap for that one. I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Intercepted.
Oh, don't tag Foley in. No. Ah, yeah, an elbow drop on the knee. That'll get the job done.
And there's that modified
Really fair, taking an elbow to the knee would actually really hurt. It's just not when it's executed the way Foley did. Will be?
And that would hurt his hand.
Oh my god. Big Show begging for it. He wants in. Mick Foley just couldn't get around the beefy legs of Brodus Clay. We are almost down to the last 5 minutes on the time limit. Not very often we see matches go to a time limit draw, but it is possible. 20 minutes on the clock is very symbolic, actually, of their championship scramble. Just hopefully we'll have a result in 20 minutes in the championship scramble. You know the rules: if there are no pinfalls or submissions in those 20 minutes, Swagger remains the champion by default. Champion's advantage in the scramble right there. You just gotta make sure no one gets any pins or submissions. You don't even have to get one. If no one gets a pin or submission, you aren't eligible to get a pin. Brodus Clay able to power out of a submission hold by the Big Show. I thought for sure we were looking at the beginning of the end. I don't know, maybe I just can't record without yawning. I mean, that has been an ongoing thing of mine for the past 10 years. Oh jeez, this channel is almost 10 years old. Oh, jeez. I mean, because I deleted all the videos of the first 7 years, it only looks like it's 3 years old, but if you go to the About section, the channel page says created December 23rd, 2010, I believe. Almost 10 years old. Oh, jeez. I was 17 when this channel started. Oof! Big choke slam. Wait, no, I would have been 16. I turned 17 very quickly afterwards, which is probably why I don't remember being 16 for it. Oh, Mick Foley with a good save. Ref, count the fucking pin, you dumbass! Thank you! Holy shit!
Here are your winners, The Big Show and Mick Foley.
Well, I told you they'd make a pretty damn good pair, and they did, but next week they face off against each other. Well, Brodus screaming in the face of Jack. Oh no. Brodus Clay clearly focused on WrestleMania and the ECW Championship a little more than Swagger would have hoped. And maybe this match has gotten through to Brodus that it's time to start doing things for himself. Snapped on Jack Swagger there. I mean, Swagger had the perfect opportunity to break up the pin, but he was too dazed to realize it was going on until it was too late. Next week, Big Show faces Mick Foley, so no tag teams here on ECW. As mentioned before, they are crumbling before our very eyes. What an ending.